The emergency session of the Galactic Council convened in chaos. Holographic projections flickered across the vast amphitheater as representatives from 47 species materialized in their designated pods. The air thrummed with translated voices, each more panicked than the last. Ambassador Mulan Chen stood at the human delegation's platform, her dark eyes scanning the assembly with calculated precision. Beside her, Commander Knox Sterling maintained his military posture, arms crossed over his chest, jaw set in that infuriatingly calm expression that made aliens nervous. Order! The Council Prime, a towering Valkyrie with crystalline skin, slammed its appendage against the central podium. The sound reverberated through the chamber like a gunshot. The human delegation will explain their continued military operations immediately. Mulan stepped forward, her voice cutting through the din with practiced diplomacy. Council Prime, with respect, we are operating within the parameters. Parameters? The Thaxian representative's scales rippled with indignation. Your species has obliterated 3 Kresh battle fleets in as many cycles. The Kresh have sued for peace. They accept defeat. Why do you continue? Knox's lips twitched into something that wasn't quite a smile. Mulan recognized that look. It was the same expression he wore when explaining basic tactical concepts to species who'd never experienced real war. Ambassador Chen, the Valkyrie continued, its voice taking on a paternal tone that set Mulan's teeth on edge. We understand your species is young, aggressive, but the Kresh Dominion has surrendered. Their queen herself has transmitted the ceasefire codes. Galactic law demands you honor. They attacked Earth. Knox interrupted, his voice low and dangerous. 6 billion dead in the first strike. The chamber fell silent. Mulan watched the alien representatives shift uncomfortably in their pods. They knew this, of course. They'd all known when the Kresh Armada descended on humanity's homeworld, broadcasting their intent to harvest humanity for slave labor. The Council had done nothing, cited their non-interference protocols, offered thoughts and prayers through official channels. Commander Sterling, the Council Prime said carefully, we mourn your losses. But vengeance is not justice. The Kresh have been pushed back to their core systems. Their military capability is shattered. Continuing this assault violates the Accords of Preservation. We demand a ceasefire. You demand. Knox took a step forward, and Mulan saw several ambassadors flinch. With respect, Council Prime, you have no authority to demand anything from humanity. The chamber erupted. Outrageous. The arrogance. This is why primitives shouldn't have void drives. Mulan raised her hand, and miraculously the assembly quieted. Perhaps they were finally learning that when humans spoke, it paid to listen. Honored members, she began, her tone measured. Let me clarify our position. The Kresh Dominion didn't just attack Earth. They broadcast their intentions across every major network. They called us soft meat. They said our children would make excellent servants because we die so quickly that we breed often. She paused, letting that sink in. They made entertainment programs about it. We intercepted their broadcasts. Families gathering to watch human cities burn, betting pools on how long we'd last. The Valkyrie's crystalline surface dimmed. Ambassador Chen, this is regrettable, but they were wrong, Knox cut in again. His voice had gone cold. Mulan knew that tone. She'd heard it in the command center when they'd retaken the Sol system, when they'd pushed into Kresh space, when they'd made the Dominion understand exactly what humanity meant by total war. The Kresh thought we were weak because we value life, Knox continued. They confused our kindness for our species with weakness toward our enemies. They didn't understand that humans don't just fight to win. We fight to ensure you never want to fight us again. This is madness. A Pralon representative's tentacles writhed in agitation. You speak of genocide. No, Mulan said sharply. We speak of deterrence. The Kresh military will be dismantled. Their shipyards will be demolished. Their strategic resources will be seized, and every Kresh who watched humans burn will remember the cost of that entertainment. The ceasefire codes have been transmitted, the Council Prime bellowed. You must. Knox's laugh was humorless. You weren't there when the Kresh glassed Beijing. When they vaporized the Amazon. When they turned the Pacific into a radiation zone that'll glow for 1,000 years. You sat in this chamber and cited protocols. Mulan accessed her datapad, projecting casualty figures across the chamber. Numbers so large they became abstract. Cities that no longer existed. Cultures erased in nuclear fire. The Council likes to speak of civilization, she said quietly. Of rules and order. But when the creche came for us, your rules meant nothing. Your order protected no one. We learned something important then. The galaxy doesn't respect peace. It respects strength. So you'll become conquerors? The Velkari's voice held genuine concern now. Become the very thing you fought against? Nox shook his head. No. We'll become something the galaxy forgot existed. A species that actually means what it says. When humanity declares war, we don't stop at the first apology. We stop when we're finished. The creche are finished. Another voice cried out. No, Mulan corrected. The creche are defeated. There's a difference. Finished means they'll never consider attacking another species again. Finished means every species in this galaxy will think twice before they decide another civilization is weak enough to harvest. She swept her gaze across the assembly, meeting eyes and optical sensors and consciousness nodes. You want a ceasefire? Here are our terms. The creche will stand trial for war crimes. Every officer who participated in the Earth assault, every propagandist who made entertainment from our genocide, every politician who voted for it. They will face justice. That could take years, the Thaxian protested. Good, Nox said flatly. We're patient, and while the trials proceed, our fleets will ensure the creche remember why they surrendered, not because they chose peace, because they had no other choice. The Council Prime's crystalline form flickered with what might have been anger or fear. This is unprecedented. The Council cannot allow... The Council can't stop us, Mulan said simply. You couldn't protect us. You won't dictate our victory. Nox's smile finally broke through, sharp as a blade. Besides, we're just getting started. The creche was an education. Consider it humanity's introduction to galactic politics. We're fast learners. The chamber descended into chaos once more, but Mulan and Nox stood firm, unmoved by the protests and threats. They'd learned the harsh truth of the galaxy. Mercy was mistaken for weakness until you proved otherwise. The creche had taught humanity that lesson. Now humanity would teach it to the rest of the galaxy, one species at a time if necessary.